Good evening, and we're going to keep rolling with the Trojan War here. I think I got the webcam thing figured out too. For that matter, I think we're going to shrink it down a little bit. There we go. So we would start with talking a little bit the other evening about this painting by Peter Paul Rubens, and just a couple things to note. There's Eris in the background. You'll remember Eris is the goddess of strife or arguing. And then over here you've got Athena, right? And here's Zeus and Hera. Right? Notice she's reaching for the apple. There's the golden apple that Eris had thrown in. And of course, this is Aphrodite. You can partly tell because there's Cupid, who in some stories is her son, but she also is not very much clothed. Here's a little more, another picture of the wedding of Peleus and Thetis. And there is Eris throwing in the golden apple. You will notice another Renaissance picture. All right, well, let's continue on. So you have these three goddesses who say, this apple belongs to me. I am the most beautiful god. I'm the most beautiful woman, most beautiful goddess. This apple should be mine. And so they go to Zeus and they say, hey, Zeus, you should be judging between us. And as you can imagine, Zeus has got a bit of a problem here, right? Who's he going to pick? I mean, Hera is his wife. All right, so let's say he picks Hera. Well, then you have offended Athena, who's his daughter, or you offend in some stories, his daughter Aphrodite, or at the very least, even if we go with the story that we talked about with her arising from the castrated genitalia of Cronus, she makes him fall in love all the time. So there's not any one of these that he's going to look at and say, oh yeah, I can just pick one and not have trouble for myself. So he kind of does the old, I'm not sure I should be the one to judge this, what we will maybe call a cop-out or avoidance of the problem. He says, you know what? You guys go to a shepherd, a human shepherd named Paris, and he'll decide this for you. So Hermes guides the goddesses to Paris. Okay, move this. Not sure where is the best place to put me. Let's put me up there for now. And here is a Greek vase painting of Hermes. Right there. Notice the staff. You remember what that's called? I talked about it in class, called the caduceus. And there's Paris, who is sitting there playing his lyre, just kind of hanging out. We'll talk about him more here in a second. And can you tell who's who? Well, my suspicion is this is Hera. Don't get too confused. People sometimes think that's her hand, that she has her arm in some odd position. I think it's just a staff. And this is obviously Aphrodite. This is obviously Athena, and then Aphrodite back there. And the reason I would say this is Hera is she's queen of the gods. And she has a staff kind of showing importance, so I would say that's her out front. And then Athena's pretty easy to recognize. Now, when they get to Paris, he's a shepherd. He doesn't, he's got sort of, and shepherds didn't have super high status back in the day. So he's a shepherd. But really, he's the son of Priam and Hecuba, who are the queen and king of Troy. So Priam's the king of Troy, Hecuba's the queen of Troy. So Paris is actually a prince. And we will leave it there for tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you again tomorrow.